So what do we have today, Fernando?
Today we have the new 2017 AVH X490VS.
We're gonna unbox it, take it out, show you all the stuff it comes with, so stay tuned. Alright, so as we said, we have the new 490 here. Let's go ahead and unbox it and see what comes in the box. So excited.
Yes.
What do we have?
We have the Bluetooth microphone.
And a blue bag. Coincidence? I hope so.
USB extension.
This is a 5-foot extension that comes with every one of these radios.
Yes.
The USB is on the back, which we're getting ready to show you. We just point this out now because if you've gotten one of these in and you're like, hey man, where is this? Because it's a common question.
Yep.
It should be in the box. If it's not, contact whoever you got it from, go back to the store, do something because you're supposed to have one.
12 screws.
Yes.
Remote control.
Okay.
And the power plug.
What else we got?
We have a warranty card. Ornament.
A what manual? Alright, we're going to go ahead and pull this thing out of the box and show you the back. The brown RCA is for the backup camera. This yellow plug here is for the add-on navigation, the Pioneer AVIC U280. This yellow along with the white and red are your video inputs. This yellow one here is the video output. You have your one and only USB. It's a 5-volt, 1 amp USB. You have your 4-volt preamp output located here. You have front, rear, and sub. Located on this side, you have your Bluetooth mic input, your wired remote input, your Sirius XM input, your FM radio input, your auxiliary input, which also happens to be the exact same size as the wired remote. So make sure when you're plugging it in, you read down here on here where it says WR and AUX. And then of course you have your power plug input. So when you first power up the unit, it asks you which language to select. You have a choice of English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and this one. Go ahead and pick one and select Next. Next, it's going to take you to network or standard mode. This has to do with how the radio is going to be set up for sound, and it's very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these two things first, and we'll start with network mode. So we'll go ahead and select network mode, and we'll select OK. We're going to come back to this in the end. Let's concentrate on network mode. Now, the radio will go ahead and start up just like a normal radio would. We're going to go ahead and turn on a source. Next, we want to come over and select gears, select audio, and then we're going to come into this section here. This is the sound settings section for the radio. You have your EQ, which is 13 bands of equalization that is easily adjusted simply by dragging your finger across. You have your presets: super bass, powerful, natural, vocal, flat, custom 1, custom 2. You have your balance. Now this is where network mode becomes relevant. If you notice, you just have balance, left and right. You don't have fader, front and rear, because network mode doesn't have that. It just has left and right. You have your mute level. You can attenuate to just lower. You can mute, or you can shut the feature off altogether. Source level adjust is only available on something other than FM, so that is why it's grayed out. It's a great feature that allows you to control the volume of other sources. So for example, if you have a phone plugged in and it's not as loud as, let's say, CD or FM, you can use source level control to turn the volume up to compensate for any lack of output the phone may have. You have your subwoofer on and off, simply by tapping. Next, you come into speaker level. This is another feature that is unique to network mode. If you notice right here, it says high left, mid left, and then of course the right side and the subwoofer. You notice there's an image of a tweeter in a mid-range and nothing back here in the rear. This is what network mode is all about. Network mode takes the radio and turns the front outputs of the radio, both powered and RCA, into a dedicated tweeter output. It takes the rear RCAs and power and turns those into a dedicated mid-range output. Now, just to note, When using this feature, the rear RCA as well as the rear deck power are where the Bluetooth phone sound are going to come from. So if you use network mode and only hook up the tweeter outputs, you won't be able to hear people talk to you from the Bluetooth phone feature. The reason why you have this feature to begin with, volume control, is for this feature here, which is listening position. You can tell it where you're sitting in the car, and then that'll take you to time alignment. Time alignment allows you to put in the measurement from your ear to each speaker. So in this case, you have your measurement from your ear to the tweeter, to the mid-range, and of course on the other side. The numbers that come on it are default, meaning they're there to be adjusted. So you can just simply use a tape measure and input your inches. You can also use the auto EQ feature with the add-on microphone to do the same thing. Now you have an option of front left, front right, or front all. Now if we go back to speaker level, we'll notice that it also added in a default level adjustment. This is also continuously a variable, so you don't have to go with the default. Matter of fact, you're probably not going to want to go with the default, but these are there to adjust. They go plus or minus on all. This is your subwoofer volume here. This is the only subwoofer volume, so if you do want to turn up the volume, you're going to go here. Crossovers. There again, this is a unique feature just to network mode, not a crossover, but this particular crossover. If you notice here it says high. This is the tweeter crossover. It's adjustable simply by tapping it and dragging it. You can adjust the slope by dragging your finger across. It has 4 adjustments, 6, 12, 18, and 24. There we go. And then you can drag this way to adjust your crossover point. Now, if we go on to this feature, we have mid-low pass. That's going to block your mid-range's ability to play high frequencies. Because you have a tweeter, you don't need the mid-range to play all the way up. You can adjust it the same way. And then you have your mid-high pass filter. This is going to block any low-end bass from getting to your mid-range. After all, that's what the subwoofer's for. And there's your subwoofer crossover, and it works the same way. So, to recap, you have subwoofer, you have what I like to call a bottom on your mid-range, meaning the lowest frequency it'll play, a top on your mid-range, meaning the highest frequency it'll play, as well as a bottom on your tweeter, the lowest frequency it will play. Now, also in the EQ, you have save settings. If you've taken the time to set up all this work, you definitely want to select save settings. That way, if the battery's disconnected, you'll be able to load settings, which is the next feature. Now, if you listen to music that has a poor bass response, Bass Boost is here for you. It allows you to EQ up just the bass. It helps to restore bass that is, let's say, poorly recorded or just not there. It's not a subwoofer volume or an EQ, it's more of a restoration for bass. If your music has a lot of bass, I suggest leaving it at 0. Rear speaker output is set to rear by default, and also network mode loudness does not function. You do not have access to this. Automatic speaker level control, you have three adjustments there. What this allows you to do is when listening to, let's say, iPod music or thumb drive music that's recorded at all different levels, you can select the radio to auto level the output. So depending on which one you pick, it will be more extreme. So if you have one song recorded at this level and another song recorded at this level, it'll help to bring that song down so you're not constantly working the volume control. Now to get back to standard mode, we have to press the tools, scroll up, and hit Restore Settings. Restore Settings is only going to be available to you if you have the light green brake wire engaged, so by either a micro bypass or the brake wire or a toggle switch. Now once the radio restarts, of course it's going to ask you a language, and then it's going to ask you network or standard mode. Let's select standard mode, select OK. There again, we'll come back to this. We'll put it on auxiliary. We'll select gears. We'll go to speaker. We have the same EQ. Nothing's different. We did lose all our settings though, so when you restore settings, you lose everything. Now, when we go in, we have balance and fader now, front, rear, left, right. We still have the same mute level control. Now here's the source level. Because we put it on aux, we can adjust the source level. Subwoofer on and off, speaker level. Now speaker level has changed. It's giving the tweeter is now missing. We have front left, rear left, as well as the rights and the subwoofer. So this would be a standard install. Now a lot of people you ask, hey, what if I have a tweeter, a mid-range, and a subwoofer, or a coaxial in the rear? Should I pick network mode? The simple answer is anytime you're using rear speakers, you pick standard mode. Now this is going to work the same, is that you can adjust the volume for each one of these. You can select where you want to sit. So let's go ahead and select front left. Now if you notice, it added in those generic settings. We'll go back. We'll go to time alignment. And as you'll see, those generic settings for measurement are back as well. Now what you want to do is measure from your ear to the front speaker, your ear to the rear speaker. If you have a mid-range and let's say a tweeter in the dash, go from your ear to the halfway point. That'll get you the measurement you're looking for. You have save settings and load settings. Bass boost is the same. Rear speaker output. Loudness now is on. And you have off, low, mid, and high. And then of course automatic level control. We'll go ahead and select restore settings one more time. Now we don't need to do this to get to the Bluetooth, but it's just easier to walk you guys through it that way. Now we come to smartphone setup. This is what's going to tell the radio what type of phone you have and how you'd like it to react. So we have iPhone, iPod, and we have other. Other is going to be Android or anything like an Android. You have your choice of USB and wireless via Bluetooth for iPhone. If you notice across the bottom here, it gives you all the features that are available to you once you've selected USB. So you'll get App Radio 1 as well as USB MTP connection. If you select wireless Bluetooth, you're going to lose your App Radio 1 and your USB MTP. Now, a lot of people ask, well, wait a minute, I want to be able to do my iPhone, have another iPod plugged in, as well as be able to receive calls and do Bluetooth audio. That's fine, you can. To do that though, you'll want to make sure you're on USB. This will allow you to do iPhone, phone, and music through the generic Bluetooth app, as well as phone app. And then your iPod will be controlled through the iPod app. Next, we'll select Other. Now in Other, if you pick App Radio 1, it'll of course give you the ability to do App Radio 1. But it's going to disable the service of USB MTP. That's not to say you're not going to plug your phone into the USB. What this means is that if you ever try to do a software update and or change the background image, if it's set to this setting, it will not work. This was a big problem last year. So if you select USB MTP, your USB will work fine, but you'll lose the app radio feature. As long as you're aware of what these two things are doing, you're okay. We're going to go back and we're going to select iPod and we're going to select USB. The reason why we're going to select this is so that we can show this in action. So we'll go ahead and select next. We're going to go ahead and select FM and we'll select the drop down menu. And as you can see here, it just says radio, Bluetooth, aux, source, and power off. We'll exit out of here, select gears, go to input output settings, select smartphone. There's that menu we just showed you. Let's go ahead and select other. It's going to reset the unit, and by that it's just going to turn it off, restart. Now if we select the drop down menu, you noticed it added radio, Spotify. Now, if we try to use an iPhone with it connected to another, these still aren't going to work. Let's go back, input, output, smartphone setup. Go ahead and select this. We'll X out. Go back here. Because the iPod is set to USB, if we go ahead and plug the iPod in, you'll notice immediately the iPod, Pandora, and Spotify will then show up. But then again, if we don't want to do it over USB, we mainly just want Bluetooth. Select Gears, input output settings, smartphone setup, wireless via Bluetooth. Go ahead and X out. Now you'll notice that the iPod, Pandora, and Spotify are there. That's because it will now work over Bluetooth, just like the Android. So along with having 6-channel, 4-volt preamp output, it also has 50 watts of internal power. So let's go ahead and talk about the screen a little bit. The screen is 800 by 480 pixels. It's clear resistive WVGA touchscreen with LED backlight. If you select Gears, select Art Palette, it has 5 backgrounds that are static, as well as 3 motion backgrounds. You can shut the background off and also import your own background. You have 5 presets for illumination on the buttons, as well as you can design your own color or just have it scroll through the rainbow. Themes are the same. You have 5 different colored themes. You can also pick which way you'd like the clock to be displayed. If you don't want the clock at all, you can also shut it off. Now, as we said, if you'd like to, you can import your own background image for the display. You can't make one of these cool motion ones, but if you want your car logo here, you can do that. Features that the radio comes with natively, of course, are AM/FM. You have your presets located here with FM 1, 2, and 3, as well as AM. To make a preset, simply press and hold, and it's a preset. You can close the door or leave it open. Select the drop-down menu. You have iPod control. Over here is your iPod functionality, so you can select here. It'll go up and pull up your playlist, artists, albums, songs. You can scroll through them. You can come over to the side. You have Pandora. You have your thumbs up, thumbs down. Your channels are located here. You can also make presets if you'd like. I will warn you on the presets that Pandora constantly likes to play with this and somehow mess this up. So it works sometimes and then it doesn't. It has nothing to do with Pioneer, it has to do with Pandora. Next you have Spotify control, which is going to work exactly the same. You have Bluetooth audio. Bluetooth audio will allow you to select your music if you have it connected to a device that has music. You can select your playlists. One thing I will note is that Bluetooth typically does not allow for album artwork. A lot of people ask this question, it's just not there. You have your auxiliary input, you have source off and power off. Now these are 2 unique features. So when you select source off, it's going to go ahead and put the radio in a semi-sleep mode per se. You don't hear any music, but the radio is still on. You can select display and it'll make the screen go black. The reason for this feature is that if you still want to receive Bluetooth phone calls and text messaging, you can, but you won't hear any sources, no FM, no AM, no whatever, no source will play. Now if you select power off, it's going to ask you, do you want to turn off the power? Basically this is just a warning to remind you that when you shut the radio off, you're not going to be able to accept any Bluetooth. If you've added the add-on navigation, that's also not going to function to tell you turn by turn. To wake it up, simply press one of the hard keys and it'll wake back up. And since we mentioned the hard keys, you have volume down, volume up, display, your home key, which will toggle between home and the source you're on. You have mode, which isn't going to do anything. Mode allows you to switch between this and the add-on AVIC system. You have track down and track up, as well as eject. When you hit eject, you have two options. You can hit full eject, which will open it up to get in your CD. Or if you hit eject, you can tilt the screen if there's a glare. To set the clock, simply tap the clock. You can adjust your month, day, year, hour. Hour is set in a 24-hour setting. So like for right now, it would be 4 o'clock. If we select X, it will display it as a standard 12-hour time frame. You can choose to display it as 12 or 24. That's up to you. This feature over here is for the Bluetooth calling. These units use what's called a wideband speech recognition, which is an improved Bluetooth. It sounds more natural and lifelike. Over here you have your phone book, which you can there access simply by dragging up and down. You can get your ingoing, outgoing missed calls right here. You can launch your standard dial, as well as this will launch your hands-free talking. This is for Siri Eyes Free or Google Voice. Simply tap it, wait for the chime, and then ask her any question you like. So this feature can be used for all kinds of cool stuff, like checking the weather, making and checking text messages. So if you get a text message, you can press this button and say, read me back my last text message, and it'll do it, and then it'll prompt you to say, would you like to reply? So this is for hands-free driving. This is a great feature to have. When the phone rings, this will automatically pop up and give you a green answer or a red reject. You can control the volume of the phone's microphone here. So this has what's called dual phone pairing. As you'll see now, there's one phone paired and it has a number 1 next to it. You can have two phones paired at the same exact time, and what it'll do is if you get a phone call, it'll automatically switch to that second phone and allow you to answer the phone. You can also switch between the two and access either phone's library. This is great if you have a work phone and a home phone. You don't have to switch now between the two phones. It'll automatically do that. You can also use it on the Bluetooth audio. So if you want to listen to your home phone and make and receive phone calls on your work phone, you can do that. So a couple hidden features in the radio that you may want to know about. When you go to the screwdriver wrench or tools, you have your input-output settings. This is where, like we said, your smartphone settings are at. This is important. You don't want to forget that. You can select this star icon here and make it a fast key. The fast keys can be found here. So if you have an Android phone and you need to switch between them, you can just make it a fast key. Your beep tone is also located right here, so you can turn that on and off. Camera settings. This, as we said, is capable of having a backup camera. This is where you're going to turn it on and off. So if you select on, the next thing it's going to do is ask you camera polarity, battery. 99.9% of the applications are going to be battery. So just leave it as default. Now once you've turned on the camera, if you X out of this and select the drop-down menu, it'll automatically populate with camera view. If you've installed the camera to where it has accessory power all the time, you can view the camera now without actually being in reverse. Otherwise, if you hook up the purple white wire to the reverse lights, the camera will automatically turn on. You have two choices as far as how you'd like to view the camera when you're in this mode. If you select the timed, what it will allow you to do is come into here, pick a feature, adjust the radio any way you'd like, and then 10 seconds after you stop touching it, it will automatically revert back to the camera view. Once you're done viewing it, simply select the X button and it'll stop doing that. Your demo mode is also located here. So if the demo mode was not turned off because the installer didn't do it, you can find that right here. Your system language is also here. So if you had it installed and it was set to an improper language, you can adjust that there. And of course, restore settings, which we've pressed 3 times already. This is where that is hidden. You also have touch panel calibration, your dimmer controls, picture adjust, which is how to adjust the image brightness, contrast, dimmer. Also, you have the Bluetooth menu. The Bluetooth menu and connections are going to be where your phones are stored. You can have 3 phones paired and 2 phones active. Now, if you've decided to add a new phone, let's say the new hottest, greatest phone just came out, and you want to delete this phone that you have in there, the light green brake wire does have to be connected and engaged. Otherwise, it's going to come up and give you a warning that says Bluetooth memory is full, or some other silly thing like that won't allow you to delete the phone or get to this menu. So make sure if you're trying to do anything in the Bluetooth menu, you have that light green brake wire engaged. One of the most talked about features on the radio is the App Radio Live app, that once the phone is plugged in is located here. So in App Radio Live, you have 4 things to choose from. If you select this guy here, it's going to take you to the weather of wherever you're at. If you select here, it'll go ahead and bring up your calendar. You can scroll through your events. If you select here, it's going to take you to your music. Now if you hit the top corner here, it's going to bring up other music that you don't necessarily have, but you now have access to. So here's the music that's on your iPod if you're using an iPhone. If you're using something other, then that's where it would be. You have Pioneer's Internet Radio. You have a podcast app. You have live music. And then you have these guys here. Go ahead and select X. Select here. Now, this is where a lot of the headache comes in this radio, is that this guy here. It's not really a GPS. It's more of a really cool phone book that's overlaid over a map. So if you select here, it's going to pull up your search. So let's select food. Scroll down here. Let's select donuts. Now it's going to go ahead and find all the places around you that sell donuts. It's also going to give you the Yelp reviews. There's 2 reviews for this one if you'd like to read them. And then it's going to tell you where it's at. So if you select here, it's going to go ahead and overlay where you're at now and where you need to go. The cursor will move along the route, but it will not give you turn by turn. It doesn't tell you how to get there. If you select the arrow with the nav, you can pick up an app like NavMe, pay the fee that they charge for turn by turn, and have it take you there. Now there are other apps that are compatible with it along with NavMe. If you select the home icon and you use Waze as a navigation, you can go ahead and tap that and it's going to bring up your Waze. The Waze is going to be fully functional. You can do search, you can do home, you can do work, So this is the Waze that you're used to using. You can move the map around, and it'll take you where you'd like to go using Waze. Now, this is a feature that is done only over USB, and also the picture resolution is not as great. A lot of people complain about it being a little blurry, and that's simple. This is an 800 by 480 screen, and they're down-resing your phone, which is a lot bigger, to this, so you get a little bit of pixelization when they compress the information. However, if you're a Waze user, you can use Waze with most phones. iPhones will work. Androids, some do, some don't. The big question when using Waze is what other music sources can I listen to? Because obviously you're not going to drive in silence. Or if you're in anything else. If you press the volume, you'll notice that you now have two volume controls. The top one is your phone and any media that's coming off your phone. The bottom one is the radio or any media coming off the radio. So, this would be where Pandora, this would be where your iPhone, anything that's on your phone's music are going to be controlled through here. If you don't have any music playing on your phone and you want to listen to FM, what will happen is when she needs to talk, the Waze, it'll go ahead and talk over the radio for you. That's how that works. Alright, so that brings this one to a close. That's pretty much all the features this bad boy has.
Right.
Exciting, isn't it? Fun in a box. Alright, cool. Well, hey, thanks for sticking with us. Fernando.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, here in YouTube, and Instagram.
And if you guys like to ask us questions direct, check out our Facebook Live show we do every Monday night, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, you guys have a great night, and we will see you later next time. Bye.